It says that we're recording.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome. Happy Thursday evening. My name is Patti Buchholtz, for those of you that do not know me. And I am part of the HEAT team, QNMD, and super excited about what we're going to talk about tonight, because I think it's going to help everybody to step it up a notch and just get things more re-engaged. So, yeah, the rules of engagement. So I'm going to introduce our leader, fearless leader, Chris Cotton, who is married to Nikki Cotton. And I have to tell you guys, I think everybody knows a little bit about him, but we have the best leaders in Juice Plus. I honestly believe that. And they always are there to help. They're always there to encourage. They're always there to direct us or stop us if we're going the wrong direction, right? And so I'm just super excited to be able to have Chris on this call with us. And so I'll let you take it away, Chris.
All right. Thank you for that nice introduction. And I'm very excited about this. You know, to be full disclosure, Patti brought up this idea and we massaged it and brought in Kerrie. And after that, it's just kind of, we just made it up on the spot, right, ladies? Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. It's kind of an advanced training. And I love saying that because it doesn't matter how long you've been with us. If you want to advance, this is a good training for you. And some of it, it's real. We're going to kind of hit the reality button on this. And the reason I get excited about it is because I set a goal 30 years ago that first I had to make sure this was going to work. So it might've been 29 and a half years ago when I joined and I said, oh my gosh, this is even bigger than I thought. What's the ultimate goal? What's the ultimate why for me? It was freedom of choice. I think it's the biggest freedom in the world. And so we want to paint a picture so you can kind of have that same realization that this can be anything you want it to be, but it's going to take a little bit of an engagement. And so when it comes to people in my 30 years of experience with this business, with this company, when it comes to engagement, there's basically four kinds of people. There's the ones that are engaged. There's the ones that think they are engaged. There's the ones that don't even know what engagement looks like. And there's some that don't care. And here's the cool thing about what we do. We love you all. You're important to us, no matter whether you do a little or a lot. So that's not the significant thing. The significant thing is, what do you want from this? So we're going to start at the basics, and this is going to be interactive. And the basic is, if you want to advance this as far as you want to take it or as far as possible to go, which I haven't even done yet, by the way, after 30 years, I got room for improvement and room for growth. And that's another reason I'm still engaged, especially under the category of personal development and leadership, right? But I have room for growth in all areas. But it starts with a why, a good why. Because if you don't have a why, my mentor, Jim Rohn, said, if it's easy to do, it's easy not to do, right? If you don't have a why, you're not going to do it. There's a little bit of pushing the comfort zone, pushing that line, going into the discomfort. So sometimes that's too much for some people. So who here knows what their why is, or who can share why you are engaged in this incredible process in this company and this mission? Anybody clear? Want to share? What's your why for doing this? Thank you, Christina. Go ahead.
Yes, so I was thinking of sharing.
I know, I felt that.
Okay, good. No, when I think of Juice Plus, well, first of all the people that I got as client, that they are not as many as I would like for the moment, but they are quite a few. 90% of them, they are really happy, and they start sharing what are the benefits. So I remember one of the first meeting that we did with you and with Patti. You told me that it was going to happen, that at some point people would start thanking me for introducing to Juice Plus. So this just started this week, and so this was an addition to my initial why. And on a personal level, my why is to find freedom in my time, because I have a job that I really like a lot, but I don't own my time. It's it's the job that owns my time. So I'm still in the middle of trying to free more space in my life and having more time to stay with my family basically, and to do what I want. To be in Los Cabos forever. I was discussing with my husband today, and it was, well, you see, if we could both work from home, we could stay here 3 months, not just 4 days.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Great. Your family and your freedom. Yeah. Okay, we're not going to have time for long explanations, but who else would please share your why with us? Ella, could you give us a why? Oh, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Hi, I'm driving, and my why is actually I'm leaving my job as a hairstylist from work right now, and my why is to not do this anymore for many reasons. This last year being a really eye-opening experience of how I just really need a plan B, and also just really wanting to help inspire other people to be healthier, physically and then mentally, just, the growth that I've had personally, like my personal development growth. I want to share that with others too. So
that's great.
That's me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we caught you at the perfect time to be clear on your why when you're leaving a day of work, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. We have time for one more. Who else would like to share their why? Go ahead, Sheila. Thanks, Ella.
Okay, basically it's I want to focus on my health.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, I've found that I'm working with people that are people of integrity, and that means a lot to me. Not only the team and the family and the community, but the company itself.
Yeah.
And I want freedom, both time and money freedom, to be with my family.
Good. Well, I think that's something we all deserve. That's our birthright, is time and financial stability and time with family. So, okay. So, Patti, would you share your why, please?
Absolutely. And you guys, my why has changed since I started this. I came in over 20 years ago, probably 4 years ago, and I was a single mom at the time. So my why then was this was an amazing product. It totally made sense to get it into my household and to offset my costs. That was my why. And I didn't see beyond that. Now I do this full time, and my why is to retire my husband early so we can, live a life that we want, travel the country and do things that we want. And this business gives us everything we need. So my why is also to help others. I have quite a few people on my team that financial freedom would be a life changer. And so if I can change other people's lives also with health and finances, that's my why.
Yeah, that's great. It makes me just want to remind everybody that there's all kinds of ways to make money, but there's not that many ways to make money while you're making a difference in other people's lives. So thank you for that, Patti.
Mm-hmm.
Kerrie, what's your why?
Well, when I first started this about 10 years ago, I was a single mom and I was working a corporate job I did not like. It would just took over my time. I really related to what Christina said. I wanted to own my own time. I was working multiple jobs, and it always seemed like at the end of the month, I didn't have enough money. I was just barely enough. If a financial emergency came up, I was struggling. And so my why really is to be in that land of more than enough, to really be able to not have financial emergencies, or if they come up, be able to handle them, have that time freedom to be able to travel and live my life fully, and just be able to give more and do more without even thinking about it.
That's fantastic. Good.
Mm-hmm.
And, I remember some of those times when you didn't have the money and you did have the financial crisis, but you made it through. So good job. And I just want to share, we about 5 or 6 years into this, maybe a little less than that, Nikki and I realized that finances was not going to be a stress point in our lives. And so that we could design the life exactly the way we want to live it. And we've done that. And we did a bucket list, and I encourage you all, go beyond your why and do a bucket list of everything you'd like to see in your life, and then start ticking them off. We ticked them all off and had to start and rewrite the list. So anything is possible. But your why has got to be exciting enough to you to get you out of bed in the morning with a, let's go do it. Let's go make a difference. Let's go build the dream, right? If it's not enough to get you out of bed excited, you might want to investigate your why. So that's first, is your why. This is the rules of engagement. Strong why, and then doing this with intentionality. Intention is key. Intention is powerful. It's a game changer. And my definition, what really got me excited about this years ago, I was doing a lot of training from the big stage, and those days, I think the first man that I got this from was Wayne Dyer, but he said that the power of intention is that when you set intention in place, unseen forces come to play, right? And we all know whether it's your spiritual life or what your personal development and affirmations, we all know about unseen forces, right? We know that nothing happens by accident. So if there are unseen forces to play, wouldn't you want them on your side, right? So set an intention so those unseen forces, the universe, your higher power, whatever it is, can aid you in this journey called life. And again, it's exciting, but I want to say this: intention is a three-part process. First, you set the intention. The reason it's powerful is if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. So I suggest three-part process. One, you set the intention. Number two, you pay attention. Because let's say you set that you want more people on your team, and the universe or your higher power, whoever, sends people by you. They put people in front of you, and you don't talk to them. You don't share the message. You don't open the conversation. You're telling the universe, no, I was just kidding. I don't really want to build it. So you have to pay attention to what happens. We don't have any control, but we can respond. So intention, attention, and here's the big one. And I didn't get this till the last couple of years. Detachment. Detachment. If we're going to trust in the universe, we're going to trust that they're going to send the people by that we need to talk to. We got to turn it over, because we can't control it. Now you can make things work your direction. Social media is a great way to talk to more people. I build it the old fashioned way, one conversation at a time. But remember, the definition of residual income is that you have the capacity to be paid for the rest of your life on your next conversation. So these days, it kind of makes sense to use social media just because it opens up a lot more conversations. But again, you have to have that attitude. Hey, this is happening. Sometimes we call it future vision. It's happening. I don't have to worry about it. It's being taken care of. I just have to pay attention and open up the conversation. Okay, so that's the three things. And it's good to have an immediate intention, like your next step in the business, a bigger intention in the business, and then the big intention, like designing your life, your lifestyle. So the other thing the next thing to talk about is having a plan. You got your why, you got your intention, but now you got to have a plan. Patti, tell us the importance and what we need to know about that.
Well, it keeps you lit up. And Chris asked me when we were putting this together what my plan was. And right now, I actually got another customer today. So I'm at 11 and 1, which means 11 customers and 1 distributor. And my goal, I put it out to Chris and Nikki at the beginning of the year, is to have a 10 and 2 every month. So I'm still working. Tomorrow's the last day. So I don't give up until the month is done. And so that's my short-term intention. My long-term intention is NMD by fall conference. So super excited about that, and you gotta plan. And so one thing I wanted to talk about is the DMO. And that's a daily method of operation, and then also finding a buddy. So Chris wanted me to kind of show you this, and this is something you can get on the Freedom Revolution. You go to your Freedom Revolution, it's under training, and then you scroll down to sharing with others, and then from there you scroll down till you see sharing your story, and it's DMO, daily method of operation. And so Heidi and I are printing these out every week. And then we're being intentional about what we're doing, and it's keeping me on track. It's helping me talk to new people and to do follow-ups with people I've already talked to follow up with customers. You know, it goes on and on. Team, inviting to events like this. So I have found, because I'm not a paper person, as Kerrie knows, but this has been such a help for me. It just kind of keeps me on track. It's like, okay, I haven't talked to any team today. I need to make sure I reach out for that. And then I think we wanted to talk a little bit about a buddy too. You guys, we have so many amazing people on the Cotton Club Heat team. Reach out, get a buddy, be accountable, saying, you know, okay, I'm going to get this much done by this day. Instead of just kind of floundering through your day every day. If somebody knows that you're going to make 10 phone calls today and you have to box them or text them at the end of the day, that kind of keeps you a little more accountable. So find a buddy.
Okay. And on your DMO plan, what's your daily activity plan? Do you have one of those?
I actually have been using this.
Okay.
And it tells me to connect with 2 new people every day, 2 follow-ups with people that I've given information to already, 2 customers, checking how things are going, 2 team members, events, inviting to events, a 3-way call with Chris or Nikki or a new prospect, social media, make sure I'm doing something on social media, checking my Voxer or WhatsApp for my Mexico team. It's really important that you stay engaged. And personal growth. You know, you always hear that we are in a personal growth journey disguised as a business. And I tell you, I have had so much growth because I have chosen to do the books or whatever is put out there by recommendation. So work on yourself. It's really important to do that too.
All right, that's great. So you've got your why, you've got your intention, and now Patty's saying put a plan together. Because again, the intention is that's where you're going, but you got to have a plan to get there. If you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail, right? Old thing. So, but you notice that Patti talked about activity. That's what the plan includes. So, Kerrie, would you please tell us a little bit about the importance of activity and how you set that up?
Yeah, it's super important for activity, and it has to be intentional activity. So nothing happens until something moves. So, or as Jim Rohn says, activity leads to productivity. So activity is kind of the starting point, but it's essential in the making of, if you want to be productive in your day. So without activity, productivity can't exist. So you have to have activity in order to have productivity. So intentional activity means that you're going to have some strategy and some focused effort. And what I do know is that doubt can take you out of action or activity. But as soon as you get into action or activity, it takes doubt completely away. So if you're active and you have an intention, and the best way to do that is, like Patti said, is a DMO. I write everything on my calendar. So I have blocks of time on my calendar, and it's super easy to fit this in around what you normally do every single day, whether it's 10 minutes here, 15 there, but you can reach out and talk to somebody. So when you're in that activity, the other piece to that is, how is your energy level? This was something that was really profound for me when I realized that I was responsible for the energy I was bringing to the activity, and I needed to bring it up a notch. And so when you're getting ready to pick up that phone, or you're on a Zoom call, or you're texting somebody, check your energy, like, where are you at? And part of that for me is, how do you bring your energy up? So whether that's to take a minute or two and really sit in prayer, do a meditation. If you want to deep breathe, you want to play some music that just get you excited, do all those things to bring the energy, because you are the energy in that conversation. And so that's a little bit about intentional activity. I love being active, but I love intentional activity.
Thank you.
Whoop. Mhm.
I had to, it's a good thing this is a live show. I had to move away from the kitchen because something's burning in there. All right. Oh, on the move here. Thank you, Kerrie. All right. So should be me on the screen, but it's not working, so we won't worry about it. Here we go. Okay. So thank you. So we got intention, we've got the plan, and of course into action. You know, another quote from my mentor Jim Rohn is that a great idea, a great plan without action is stillborn. So, you know, if in your future of building this business, you don't see where you are going to be talking to people, you've got to change that. It's got to be some people that you can connect with. Again, I'm sorry for my move, but I got silence in here. And here we go again. So one last couple of things that we want to talk about before we let you go, and then we'll take some questions. When we start the questions, let's drop off the recording. First of all, is accountability. You heard Patti mention it, and having a buddy that you can run by. You know, if you ask Jay Martin, the president and founder of this company for the last 50 years, the number one thing that he would suggest for being successful in our endeavor, he's going to tell you, get a buddy. And Patti told you why. It's somebody you can celebrate with. It's somebody you can cry with if you have to, and then you can shake it off and keep going. Now, the way I learned it, there's two reasons for accountability, and you might want to write this first one down. The first reason for accountability is the human's infinite capacity for self-delusion. And some of you have probably experienced that, right? So, the human's infinite capacity for self-delusion. Good to see you, Heidi and Kirsten. And that's important. And the other thing is equally as important is on this plan, on this journey with the intention where you're going, it's good to know where you are on the journey. So having somebody for accountability lets you know, am I on track or am I off track? Do I need to make a shift? Do I need to up my energy? I love that Kerrie talked about that. Or do I need to up my activity? Or do I need to lower the timing on my goals, right? It's all okay. We don't have control of the timing anyway, but that's the reason to know where you are on the journey so you can make the adjustments that are necessary. And has anybody on this call ever come out of a conference, whether it was in this business or anywhere in life, and you made some commitments? I'm going to get this done. I am fired up. I'm going to do this time. And then 6 months later, another conference comes around and you haven't hit your goal. Anybody ever do that? You know what we call that? Kerrie, what do we call that? Okay. Oh, can't hear you. Say it again, Kerrie.
I said it sucks.
Besides that, do you know what we call it?
Oh, no, it's not coming up to me.
Okay. Patti?
No, I'm lost too, Chris.
All right. You make a commitment. You're going to go for the goal. 6 months comes around, you haven't hit your goal. We call that normal. That is normal. That is life. All right? It's no big deal, right? If you are aggressive about this and setting goals that excite you and you don't hit them, that's the way life is, right? Yeah, go ahead, Heidi. You're dying to say something.
For me, it's personal development. Like it is when you don't hit that goal, and I've been this close
to
hitting QNMD, and then things happen, right?
Yeah.
And it has been the best personal growth journey ever.
That's a great point. And I was going to take it there also, because we say we're all excited. We've heard that phrase. This is a personal development program cleverly disguised as a business. But does the personal development happen when everything is going smoothly? No. The personal development happens when you get outside your comfort zone and you step on your tongue and you put your foot in your mouth a few times, and then you learn and then you practice. But here's the beautiful thing. Everything that's happened, like I know that Kirsten, you had a emotional thing happen this week on your team, right? But guess what that does for you? That makes you ready for the next time it happens. You handled it. Now you're ready. Now you're more, next time it won't even be outside your comfort zone, right?
Right. It builds leadership.
Exactly. So remember, those challenges are growth opportunities, and welcome them. And then, you know, my new passion, fairly new, is the stand-up paddle surfing. I've been doing it now going on 6 years, but I'm still kind of new at it. But you know what? I fall off a wave every day, and I can't wait to get back on the wave for a couple of reasons. One, if I stay in the water, I'll probably get hurt. Let's get up and get another wave. Let me do this again. Same thing with your business. Every time you get challenged and you think, oh my gosh, is this worth it? That's the personal development opportunity. And your team below you is never in a, well, that's not true. Almost everything that challenges you, your team members are going to be challenged by also. But that's why you're the leader, because you can say, hey, I remember when that happened to me, right? I almost said that wrong, because your team will come up with some new challenges that you haven't seen yet, but at least you'll be know how to handle it. Okay, so I want to leave you with this last thing, which is there's 3 levels of empowered activity. There's 3 levels of empowered activity. And this first one I think may be the most important, but you'll see how they progress. The first one is consent. Consent to what is. In this case, in the rules of engagement, you have got to consent to the fact that you are going to reach out to people and start conversations. I did it old school, and I just felt that if somebody was in front of me or on the phone with me, that whether it was intentional or not, I'm supposed to share the message. We're getting better at it now. Now I know that my agenda, when somebody's in front of me, is to start a conversation and to find out why, to connect with them. First, I connect from my heart, and then I connect with them with authenticity, so it opens their heart. And I find out why that person is in front of me. If that person has maybe one of these 4 pain points, the pain point of health problem, the pain point of financial problem, the pain point of lack of community, or the pain point of desire for more self-development, personal development, I'm going to approach the conversation that way. And if that person has the pain point of really needing to have somebody listen and for them to be seen, then I'm going to listen and acknowledge that I see them. And we'll talk about finances, Juice Plus, health, community, personal development some other time. That's a nice open agenda that doesn't keep me closed into, oh, how am I going to bring up Juice Plus? How am I going to switch this conversation over? You don't switch the conversation over. You be in the conversation at the heart level with that person, and they will reveal what they need. Okay? And then you can be a solutioneer. You heard it with your big ears, and you have a solution. And again, this is why our motto on this team is come from love and keep the love flowing. With those as a parameter, you can't miss. Okay, so consent to what is. Now, here's where you can also get with consent. You have an event. You want people to attend your event. Let's say it's a Take Healthy Back Call on Saturday morning. So you consent that you've got to reach out and invite people, right? Remember, there's no downside to an invitation. So you start making calls, and because maybe it's uncomfortable for you, but it's what we do. You have to do it from consent. So, excuse me one second. All kinds of distractions today. So you start making calls, and you consent to what is, and people feel the peace of that, and they get the invitation and they say, you know what, you've called me before, but they're not saying this out loud, but they're feeling your piece and the fact that you called them again. They might be thinking, well, she's just going to keep calling. I might as well go to an event, right? So that's what consent brings peace. The second level of empowered activity is joy. Now, here's the way I like to describe that. You're building for an event. You've got 50 names in front of you, and the first person said no. The second person said no. The third person said, absolutely, it sounds great. I'll be there. Well, wow, that's exciting. The fourth person says yes. You're getting excited. You've got some joy going on, right? This is just a hypothetical scenario. But you call that fifth person, and they can hear the joy in your voice. And, they don't know. It's kind of like the Harry Met Sally. I'll have the breakfast scene where the lady's faking the orgasm. The next lady at the next table says, I'll have what she's having, right? It's the joy that goes out. And so it's very attractive. Everybody likes to be around joyful people. But the third is the top. It's passion. You've got 5 people now you've talked to. They're all coming to your event. Man, you are blowing the doors off this event, and you are passionate about it because 5 people can change 5,000 lives fairly quickly, right? And create a $5,000 income also. So you are passion on fire. And now you're talking to people, and it's the energy in your voice. See, it's the energy that you're bringing, right? And Kerrie mentioned that. And that time it's like, this lady's on fire. I don't know what's getting her on fire, but I'm going to come watch her burn, right? I mean, there's no downside to passion. Everybody wants to be with you in that realm. So those are the 3 levels: consent to what is, build it to joy, let it rise to passion, and change the world. Okay? So we're going to open it up to questions and answers. Before you hit stop the recording, Patti, do you have any final comments?
No, other than if you feel like you want to, progress, go to the next level, reach out to your upline and set a plan and let us help you to do that. Good
advice. Remember, you're not in business. You are in business for yourself, but never by yourself. And you got a lot of experience on this screen right here. So reach up and get some help. Kerrie, do you have anything you want to add?
I would just encourage all of you to go and get that DMO printed out and just try it. Get that intentional activity going. Pick your 2 people, every single day. What 2 people am I going to reach out to today? And just be intentional in doing it. And when you're done, it's just like, it's success. It just feels so good. Like I did it, So I would just encourage you to do that.
Yeah. And track it. Right? That's what the DMO sheet is for. So track it. So when Friday rolls around, how'd you do? Did you hit the 10 that you intended to talk to? If not, you've got the weekend to fill up the holes, right? If you talk to 8 by Friday, talk to 2 more over the weekend and start Monday clean with your accounting done. And let's just hear from a couple other people that have been with us for a little while. Heidi, do you have anything you want to throw in there?
Yeah, I just wanted to offer up something that I do because I find it sometimes overwhelming when I write it out before I actually do it. And so very often I will actually, and Patti and I are doing this together right now, I actually fill it out after I've done with my day. And then I know if I need to reach out to more people. And I literally, it's so easy. I just go to my phone and I go to my call log. And I can see who I've reached out to there. I go to my text log, I can see there. The same with Messenger, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all of the social media platforms. It's just so much easier for me to do the activity and then track it and write it down afterwards. But the thing I love the most about the DMO, I see the gaps that I need to improve on. That's Absolutely. My favorite part about it.
Very cool. Kirsten, you have anything you want to add from your experience?
Okay. I'll just speak to the joy part, Chris, is that you've seen me over the past 4 years in some pretty awesome highs and some some dark lows. And the energy piece just cannot be understated. And I'm going to just say, it's not about always being happy. It's about being brutally authentic. My business, after my mom passed away last year, my social media posts were so raw. I was just haggard and crying, and my business exploded because I was just real. And so I guess I just want to really encourage those of you who feel like you have to always bring positive up energy. I would say more, you just need to be your authentic self and say, I'm broken apart right now and I'm still in the room and I'm surrounding myself with people that fill me up, and people really feel that. So
that's awesome. Awesome advice. And that's why in the words of Brene Brown, don't think you have to change who you are to be successful. Her saying is, don't change who you are, be who you are.
Absolutely.
That's why you were put on the planet, to be you. So bring it. And speaking of energy, you know, whatever energy is missing in any situation is what you're not bringing, right? Come in and fill the gap. And of course, come from love and
Keep the love flowing.
keep the love
Keep it
flowing.
flowing.
All right, that's a wrap.
Okay.
Good night, you guys.
All right.
Thank
for being with
you.
us. And go ahead and stop the recording.